What day was it yesterday? Manchester United, they started their search for a new manager. PSG's Pochettino, Leicester's Brendan Rodgers, Zinedine Zidane, they've all been linked to the job, haven't they? But talkSPORT's Adrian Durham has thrown another name into the mix.
Man United fans seem dead set on Pochettino, who, again, has won nothing. Didn't even win the title with PSG last season, which is heads gone in itself. Needs Messi to come in and pull clear in France. So they're absolutely fine with getting Pochettino. Why wouldn't they be fine with Southgate? It doesn't seem to make any sense to me whatsoever. Has he not proved himself as a man manager? Yes, you could look at tactics. Didn't actually lose the Euro final. It went to penalties. You could question the penalty takers and all that. That's absolutely fine. But has he not done enough already to turn England around in just 5 years for people to think, actually, he's got a lot about him? That's somebody I'd want. And think about how he is away from the football pitch as well. Why wouldn't you want somebody who is that honourable and that sincere as manager of your football club? The most public figure at your football club is the manager. Why wouldn't you want Gareth Southgate?
OK, there you go. So that's what Adrian Durham was saying yesterday. Gareth Southgate will now be off limits for Manchester United because he's signed a new contract extension with England, hasn't he? Darren, we mentioned this earlier on. The question that Adrian Durham is saying is, why wouldn't you want a man like Gareth Southgate at your football club? What would your answer be?
Oh, I just don't think he fits the bill. Maybe tactically is an issue. But my kind of thinking is, you wouldn't want Conte, so why would you want Gareth Southgate? And Gareth Southgate's not in the same bracket as Antonio Conte. You talk about a guy that's a serial winner, like we've had a few people say on here. Absolutely not. They don't want Conte. He's boring. Well, is winning trophies boring? Because surely that's the aim of the game, and that's where Manchester United are trying to get back to. So I can understand why Manchester United would look at Southgate and go, well, he hasn't really won anything. He's had opportunities. Again, he's had another opportunity, a couple of opportunities to win anything. Hasn't managed to get it over the line. They need guys that are ready to go, that are proven track record of winning trophies at the biggest of and the most highest level.
OK, Mauricio Pochettino, Zinedine Zidane, Brendan Rodgers, all believed to be the front runners for the vacant Manchester United job. Yesterday, talkSPORT sources revealed that Mauricio Pochettino is desperate to become Manchester United's new manager. United have identified Pochettino as their top target to succeed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and are willing to wait until the summer to get their man. Now, the PSG's boss, his wife, his children as well, they all live in London still, don't they? Fueling his desire to return to the Premier League. That's what we've been told. Joining us now to look at who could potentially be the man at Old Trafford in the coming months, Manchester football writer for The Sun, it's Neil Custis. Good morning, Neil.
Hi, good morning, both.
Morning. Thank you for coming on. What are your thoughts on this? Who do you think is the right man for the job? And do you think that they should wait to get their man, or do they need someone now?
I mean, I think they desperately need someone now because, that they're in real danger of, they're in danger tonight of losing and could then go out the Champions League. But they're in real danger of just collapsing down the league because I don't see Michael Carrick turning this around. He was part of the coaching team which presided over this disastrous run over the last 2 or 3 months. So they desperately need someone now. They just can't wait.
Neil, can you understand the club's planning? Because when I look at it, it looks like they don't know what they're doing because they sack Antonio Conte's there. Quite clearly, they don't think he's the right man for the job. That's fair enough. But then they go and sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to give the job to his number two. Does that make any sense to you? Because it doesn't to me.
Well, I think they should have made the decision after the Leicester game, and then they could have got Conte then. So I think that's the move they should have made. I mean, in fairness, we criticise a lot of club chairmen and owners and stuff like that for sacking managers, and they have just desperately wanted to give Ollie time to turn this around due to the work he's done over the last 2 years, which has been very, very good at Manchester United. So they just desperately wanted to give him time to turn it around. Ole Solskjaer's is a different person at Manchester United to the previous 3 managers. He is Manchester United royalty. He is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has scored the most famous goal in the club's history. So they didn't want to pull the trigger until they absolutely had to.
Neil, do you think, when he first came in, he did a fantastic job in terms of kind of reigniting the fans with the team after the whole Mourinho era. He brought that feel-good factor back to Manchester United. Do you think at the end of that season, he should have maybe walked away and said, you know what, I'm not quite ready for this, or because it's Manchester United and they give him the job, he had to take it?
No, I don't think he should have walked away because the proof is of the last 2 seasons in the way that he's, started to develop the team and the way he sort of re-engaged the fans with the team, where there'd become a disconnection. Let's remember, he came third, he came second last season ahead of Liverpool. You can point to all their injuries and everything like that, but that was a sign to me that they were going in the right direction. Just slowly building it back up. So no, I think he was right to hang on, and I do think for 2 years he did a good job with the club.
Who do you think, out of those names that we mentioned, Zinedine Zidane, Maurizio Pochettino, Brendan Rodgers, who's the front runner for you, or is there another name that you think should be in there?
Well, I know contact's been made with Rodgers. But the Pochettino thing is basically coming from his side because it's his desperation to get the job. I mean, there's no doubt that him and Rodgers are the two front runners. And who would you want from those? And it's about who would you want from those two? And I think they can get either. And I think either would be very good for the club. It's just what do they do between now and the end of the season? I mean, there are, could you bring Mark Hughes in maybe? Would Mark Hughes want to do the job for sort of 3 or 4 months?
I don't know. We'll ask him that in an hour.
Yeah, he's coming on later.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it might be his. It might be his job application. You never know. We'll ask him though. But would they, if Maurizio?
It's a very strange situation that you're asking someone, look, can you be our boss, but just for a very short time, please?
Yeah.
I've never known anything like it. Just putting. I mean, I still remember. Bobby Robson at Barcelona, but just being given the job for a year because they were waiting for Louis van Gaal. And then Robson did such a good job that they were left in a very awkward situation.
It's a bit like maternity cover, isn't it?
Let them go. So yeah, they have left themselves in a bit of a muddle.
But I mean, in a way, in terms of where they are at the moment, if you're saying as well that all this is coming from Maurizio Pochettino's camp and he's so desperate to get the job, do you think you'd walk away now from PSG?
I think if United, it's just whether PSG would let him go, though. Do they want to lose their manager in the middle of a season when they're still in the Champions League and everything like that? The thing is, they could then get Zidane. If Zidane goes, then Pochettino can leave. And if his desire to leave is that great, do you want a manager managing your club who's so desperate to leave your club? So yeah, that could trigger that.
Do you think it's a risk for Maurizio Pochettino to go to Manchester United because the league is so strong and there's no guarantees that you're going to win anything at all?
It could never be a risk for anyone to be manager of Manchester United. You're asking someone to manage the biggest club in the world and you're going to go, nah, a bit of a risk, don't fancy that.
What if he fails spectacularly?
Then he fails. But then do you become like Homer Simpson talking to your children, you've tried and you failed, the lesson is never to try. You've got to try. What if he succeeds and turns the biggest club in the world back to title winners and goes down in legend? You cannot reject that opportunity. Nobody can reject the opportunity of managing Manchester United out of fear of failure, or there's no point being in the job.
What do you think his legacy would be, for example, if he did go to Manchester United, didn't manage to do anything there? Do you think it would start to damage him because he's been fired from Spurs, he's walked away from PSG with the best front three in potential history, and then he goes to Manchester United and fails?
No, because I don't know, it's so hypothetical. I mean, it's not like he wouldn't get another job. Van Gaal goes and gets another job again. Mourinho goes and gets another job. I'm not sure whether Solskjaer would want to or will. But managers get sacked and then become the number one target for the next club. It's the strangest industry in the world, isn't it? So, but I don't think he would fail. I mean, I don't see him as a bad manager. I don't think he would fail. But what is failure at Man United? You see, because Solskjaer's finished third and second, and apparently, in some people's eyes, has failed. So you're only winning the title is success. But people don't get what a seismic event Sir Alex Ferguson leaving the football club was. He didn't leave like banks of computers and files and everything like that on how to win. It was all in his head. Man United was just him. And when he left, it became a very different Manchester United. And people realised how tough a job it was. Now, if every single manager after Sir Alex had gone on and did what he did in winning multiple titles, then he wouldn't have been that special after all, because anyone can go and do it. So he was so special that it was a seismic event in walking away. But then you look you look at what Manchester United have done over the last 5 years. If Spurs had done what Manchester United have done over the last 5 years, it would be seen as the glory era in their history. But because it's Manchester United, it's seen as not good enough. So it's such a tough task. The problem is the longer it goes without them winning the title, the more the pressure builds.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think he was a failure, but I do think he had more than enough opportunities to win something. Obviously, the Villarreal game kind of springs to mind, but certainly going forward now, do you think Michael Carrick's the right man to kind of take Manchester United forward, and will he command the respect of the dressing room?
No, I don't think so, because he was already there, doing the main training with McKenna and Myfield and all that. I mean, normally when a manager goes, all his staff go as well, and a new bloke comes in. This situation can't be allowed to go on because Michael. I'm not. Michael Carrick's a nice guy and all that. We may be surprised when but why couldn't he put his own ideas into action before this? If he was such a close confidant of Ollie, he's been part of what the problem has been for the last 3 months, because he's been on this much respected, vaunted coaching staff in terms of Ollie's eyes. So how does it suddenly turn around? I think you need he's a multiple title winner, a Champions League winner, but I still think you need a bigger name in the managerial field to command the respect of players, the likes of Ronaldo, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Varane, major names in the game.
All right, all eyes on that job. Neil, thanks for coming on this morning. Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. The Sun's reporter, Neil Custis there.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.